Hi guys, so we've got all that glitters, we've got dreamers in action, we've got team win on here, and I know Jani, Jess, and I are super excited for our 8-week, kind of 9-week summer sprint. We're going to do 8 calls and 8 training sessions, but we decided that Memorial Day we would not make you call in, and partially that's because we don't want to call in. Just kidding. But we are so excited to be doing this, and we kind of tonight just want to kind of lay the ground rules, like the expectations, kind of the vision of all of this, give you some basic homework to kind of launch it forward and get you going. But I just kind of want to tell you a little bit of where this came from and then a little bit of how the three of us work so well together, because some of you may know and some of you may not know. But I want to first highlight Jani, who is going to be so modest, and she didn't even know this part was coming. But she's a 96 millionaire. Currently she is a woman of the year for Isogenics, but she's who I call my real life guardian angel. Jani has created countless 6-figure income earners in Isogenics. She's created many 7-figure income earners. She makes 7 figures a year. She's not a cumulative millionaire. She's an annual millionaire with Isogenics. And she mentored Jess and I really closely together when we first were building, and we ran to 3-star. We ran to 6 figures in 6 months. And it's been really fun to kind of be through this journey without her, but Jani kind of knows exactly what to do. I feel like she's a talent scout, and she's taught us how to be a talent scout, and she kind of knows where to push people, like to that line of out of your comfort zone, but without being over the edge. And that's a gift, and that's a skill, and that's something that Jess and I have kind of learned from her. So it's really been a privilege and honor to work with her, and we're excited to kind of be doing all of this together. And she just has the biggest heart of service, and a lot of you are not in her reentry. You're on a completely maxed out business center where there's a lot of 7-figure income earners, a lot of 6-figure income earners, and she does this because she wants to, because it's fun and it fills her heart. And there's not one person on this planet that I think gives or contributes more. So it's really a treat and an honor and a blessing to just have her wisdom, her grace, her love, her enthusiasm, her tenacity to kind of be a part of this. And Jessica is like my best friend in the company, and we started this because we were competing against each other. And we're cross-signed to each other, but on one side of Jani. And she just, paired us up. We got enrolled 3 weeks apart from each other. And Jani just kind of used to push us. She would text Jessica and be like, Lauren just enrolled 3 President's Packs. And then I would get a text that was like, Jessica just put in her 4th President's Pack, and she's got a 30-day going in right now. What do you have going on? And I was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, Jess is 2 cycles away from 1-star. Where are you? And we rank advance 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, like the same weeks, because we were laser focused and we had vision and we had burning desire and we put in the time. We made these sacrifices and we were in massive action, you guys. I was texting Jani today, and literally her exact message to me is, all you need is burning desire and activity. Give that to me all day long. And that's part of how you guys were selected. So Jessica's a millionaire with Isogenics. She's an 8-star Golden Circle. She's created many executives, many directors, many managers in 3.5 years with this company. I mean, she's by far one of the best trainers. She comes from a really extensive sales background, so we kind of get to learn from her on how she leads teams and how she motivates teams and how she duplicates herself. And she just brings so much skill to the organization. And for me, for those of you that don't know me, I'm really hard to introduce myself, but I have a background in health and wellness, and I am just really excited to partner with these two, and then all of you. So I think a lot of times, there's times with this business that we know it's going to be a momentum and it kind of happens with ease. And then there's times where the statistics or the trends will tell us it slows down. But Jani, Jess, and I are the ones that who cares? Like, when it's time to work, it's time to work. We don't care what the trends are. So a lot of times people say the holidays are slow. December's slow. Nobody works in December. Well, Jani got enrolled in December. Jessica and I were top pool earners in December. We were top enrollers in December. So we're like, we don't care what month it is, we're going to work. And so the summer is some of those months where it's like, kids are out of school, people are checked out, like no one's going to do this, like we'll come back in September. And we're like, no, like why? Like June and July is not the time to take off the gas. If anything, it's time to put your foot on the gas, especially if you're someone who's in the pools or getting in the pools, because if less people are working, that means that pool share is higher, and we want you to grab that. We want you to grab big money in that. And so we just said, you know what, we've got just under a couple months until the Crystal Executive Reset. We are, just under 100 days until celebration. And we want to get people to their goals. You know, we want to see people recognize the celebration. We want to see more people at the Crystal Executive Rally. We want your lanyards to change. We want you to get that trip totally paid for. That there was just so many things that, you know, we started talking and we said, how can we put together, you know, just this really elite, really special group of people that are fired up, they're coachable, they're tenacious, they're excited, you know, they're loving, and really, really make some big things happen. And for those of you that are brand new, you guys are in for something so special. And for those of you that have done this a little bit before with us, when we were messaging, we just said, let's not make another big group. Like, I don't want to open up something that everybody applies for. You know, everybody says, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they don't get on, they don't do the homework, you know, and nothing happens. And all of us are like, okay, it's another training call. And it's another thing that we're kind of dragging people that are not doing it. And so Jani said, you know what, let's hand select people. You know, I've seen Kelly Dickerhoof do this. I've seen Laura Stevens do it. They said, let's grab some really, really special people that have what we call the it factor, you know, that are recruiters, that they're coachable, that they're fun, that they love this business, that you're going to not watch TV because you want to make calls, that you're not going to go to happy hour because you're going to do a launch party, that you're going to get up early, that you're going to go to the gym and you're going to flood your ears with podcasts and learning and growth. And, you know, most recently, Tony Robbins priming exercise or something, because you say, this is what is going to put a financial wall around my family. This is what's going to set me free. This is what my future is going to look like. So I'm going to give up the short-term joys to really, really have the most, you know, lavish, fulfilling, contributive, gracious life as a result. So all of you, I mean, you should be really, really proud of yourself, because Jani's team is about 400,000. My team is about 10,000. Jessica's, I think, is like 30,000. And to say that you were one of 10 people in our team that was selected, like, that is really, really an honor to you. I mean, that is something that we see in you, that we know that you can really blow it out of the water. So, like, congratulations on either how you've showed up or what you've been doing, that, you know, we saw it and we said, you know, you're it. You're one of the people that's going to get all of my attention over the next, you know, 8 to 9 weeks. So tonight, Jani's going to, you know, really talk to us a little bit about being out of balance, you know, and kind of casting this vision, because she's seen it. You know, she's been with Isagenix for 10 years, and she's seen it get messy. She's seen the struggles that people have to go through in the peaks and the valleys to really design that, and there's nobody better to do that. And Jessica's going to kind of go through just some of the basics for you, that we know exactly what we're doing week in to week out. But, and this is because they all know that I'm like the terse little Isagenix homework Nazi, but I said I would lay the groundwork, you know, for kind of our expectations. But you guys, our job is not to micromanage you. You know, we're not here to like tattle on you. We really don't want to babysit you. That's not what this is about. Like, we want to lift you up. We want to empower you. We want to celebrate you. We want to encourage you. You know, we just want to push you to your limit, like I said, without pushing you overboard. But at the same time, we know it takes activity. We know that there's a certain amount of income-producing activities, a certain amount of time, a certain amount of sacrifices to really make those big things happen. So with keeping it simple, all we're expecting is, number one, get on these calls live. We know that there's summer vacations. We know things happen. So you're allowed 2 misses of the 8 calls. So 6 out of the 8, you've got to get on live, right? If you have a 3rd miss, like, we're taking you out. You know, it's just that simple. You just don't want it bad enough. And if it's one of the weeks that you happen to be on vacation, or you were sick, or a kid was sick or something, I will post the recording that night. Watch it, do your homework, we're moving on, right? The other thing that we want to make sure you're doing, you guys, is a minimum of 2 launch parties. So 1 in the first 4 weeks and a second in the next 4 weeks. It doesn't matter if they're virtual. It doesn't matter if you want to do a Facebook Live event. It doesn't matter if you want to do an opportunity meeting, a mom's get together, a tasting party. But somewhere you are committed to 1 in May and 1 in June. You are going to get people together that you can share the Isagenix story. And then each week there will be a moderate level of homework that's posted, that we just want to make sure you're doing it. You know, that we know action does it. We know that in order to get better, you have to practice. You know, you have to fail forward. And so whatever we're saying, okay, this is what we're working on this week, we really just want to make sure that you guys are diving in, that you're doing the do, and that you are kind of dotting the T's, or dotting the I's, crossing the T's, in order to really propel yourself forward. Does that sound fine? Okay, and the last thing, ideally double PIBs every week, right? But no less than 5 enrollments in a month. So every one of you is going to get your complete essentials, you know, the first 4 weeks and the second 4 weeks. Ideally, we want 8 to 10 enrollments. If there's 5 weeks in the month, double pivs, 10 enrollments, right? If you're enrolling, like, go for the bonus. Like, when I did the Start Vision tour last week, and Danielle Thompson was here, and she's an Isogenics millionaire, she's a Start ambassador, and she's like, I still love double pivs. Like, I get excited about double pivs. And so do I. I mean, it just is showing that you're in massive momentum, you're in constant action. And Jessica and I were messaging earlier this morning because one of the, just because like we were talking about how we were going to, select people and how we were choosing people. And she's like, I want someone that's getting double pivs today. And I wrote her, I said, whoa, double pivs on a Monday. So that's aggressive. She goes, you can do it. And I laughed, and I have double pivs on a Monday. I said, well, thank you for setting my intention this morning, So it's just, that's kind of, it's fun, it's exciting, and we want you guys to push each other. We're your accountability team, and that fine line that we know diamonds are made under pressure, and it's going to be fun and it's going to be exciting, but we want you to work hard, and we really know it can happen. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Jani, because you guys know what to do. 5 enrollments a month, 2 launch parties, 1 in May, 1 in June, and attend these calls live. That should not be hard, and do your homework. Right? But we're not micromanaging you. We are not here to shame on you. We just really, really want to see you succeed, and we kind of know what it takes to make that happen. So Jani, I think I introduced you. I'm so excited you guys got on here. She literally just drove back from San Diego. She got away for Mother's Day, made it in time for this call because she loves you guys so much, and she's just really going to paint the vision for you, what this is all about. So I'm going to shut up and turn it over to you. So you're muted.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Lauren? Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. I'm saying yes, but I muted myself. Yes,
okay,
I can hear
you.
Gotcha.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. So you guys, I guess some of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about when Jessica and Lauren brought this up, I just thought, okay, everybody needs to get back to the basics, and I feel like they really need to get excited about what we have a hold of, what this whole thing is all about. And I was thinking about it as I was actually coming home from my weekend in San Diego. And the first thing into my mind was just, you guys have a hold of something that I feel like nobody really understands on this side of where you are now and where you can actually be. Because when I first started out on this whole journey, I remember just being excited that, $200, $300, $400 onto my Isogenics account was super, super exciting. And then now to look back, 9 years later, to be able to see this amazing, amazing situation that we're in, where you can literally just, take off with your family, very last minute, plan an amazing trip, and then just be excited about that. So that's one of the things I wanted to tell you, that just, what you have a hold of is absolutely amazing, but it's going to take some amazing, amazing hard work. It's going to take so much dedication and just, and a burning desire to really make an impact and really change your life. So a couple of the things I wanted to talk about were just some daily habits that you guys could implement. And I want you to write these 5 things down, because I really came up with 5 top daily habits to implement into your life to build your business. So the first one that I want you guys to write down is you've got to be posting on social media, not necessarily related to Isogenics, but to your brand. So what makes you unique? What makes you amazing? What things are you actually passionate about that people know you for, and that you're excited about in life? And the things, you should really have about 5 things that you love about life that you want to post about. And so I think you should go ahead and write those down and be posting about those every single day. So that's number 1, is just to make sure that you're posting on social media. Number 2 is use your Isogenics products in public. And to me, that's the fun of this, you guys. I mean, we have so many amazing, Gear. Isogenics has done an amazing job with hats, with different little things that really cause a lot of people to have some curiosity. One of the things that I think is amazing that a lot of my girls have done is they don't necessarily carry a nice shaker bottle, but they will take the greens and the hydrate. They'll put it in that and shake it up. And I used to do this in spinning class all the time. And I would shake that up and put it into my bike, little water holder. And people would say, "What in the world are you drinking? It literally looks like swamp water." And I would just say, "Oh my gosh, I'm like drinking like 9, organic salads and this amazing electrolyte drink that is loaded up with B vitamins and vitamin C and keeps you hydrated, and it really gives me that mid-afternoon boost. It's amazing for my workout. I absolutely love it." So that is, just using your Isagenix products in just out in public. Another thing that's really kind of fun to do is you can get these big kind of cups, like 32-ounce cups, and I fill it up with ice. And I go into the nail place because I'm down here in Arizona and I'm meeting all kinds of new people. And so I go to this high-end nail place where we're all kind of lined up in a big row. And I take my my e-shot, and I take my Isagenix or my Ionix packet and a couple of Cleanse little bottles. And as I'm getting ready to sit down and get my nails done, I'll just pour all of these things in. And you guys, I'll tell you, everybody that's sitting around me will say, "What in the world are you doing?" And I just tell them I'm so excited. I'm doing this, like this reset on my metabolism and my adrenals. And what it's really doing is it's a cellular blood cleanse, and it just gives me amazing energy. I sleep like a baby at night, and I'll probably drop 3 or 4 pounds in the next couple of days. And it's just like pushing reset on everything, or reboot. And people want to know what it is. And so I've given out so much information and followed up with so many realtors and attorneys and people that are just in there that want to feel better, because I think that we often we complicate this business and we make it feel like it's like there's so much technicality to it, when really, you guys, people just want to feel better, they want to look better, and they just want to have a richer life, and they want some financial breathing room. So really use your product, definitely take your product, shake them up when you're out running around. I always have samples that are in my car. It's super, super important. I can't tell you how many packs that I've sold because I've thrown people a shake packet. Kathy Cooper says the number one sample to give out to people is the e-shot. She swears by it. She said, give a woman an e-shot, she will never go back, because you immediately get, within 15, 20 minutes, you guys, you get that immediate, I get an endorphin kick off of it. I have a mood boost immediately. I feel like my serotonin levels are up. I feel so good on those e-shots. So I have a couple of those a day. And what I didn't realize is that you are banking those adaptogens in your body so that when you go through stressful times, your body can pull on those. So it's not just you're drinking it and then it's kind of going through and you're done. You are banking those in your body. So the e-shots are amazing. The chocolates are amazing. I carry bars in my purse. I carry, slim cakes in my purse. I carry everything. And then when I'm talking to people and, I definitely shoot them something and they want them, and they always come back to me and want more. And then it goes into a conversation about what is this really all about. So definitely use your Isagenix products in public. And then I want you guys talking to 3 people a day. And if I could tell you, the one thing, when I've been on these sprints and these runs before, when I'm talking to 3 people a day and I'm tossing it out there, and I don't care if it's somebody, and I remember there was a group of people that were being mentored by one of the top income earners. And it was a really tight group. And she just said, every single night, I want you to email me your 3 contacts that you've made. And one of the gal was an attorney. The husband was a police officer. And I remember just thinking to myself, she was serious about it. You were kicked out of the group if you didn't email your 3 contacts a day. And I remember the husband coming home and saying, I've got to go out to the gas station and try to meet somebody to be able to get a 3rd contact, for the day. But they ran that consistent action. They ran to 6 figures in 6 months. So, that 3 contacts a day, you guys, you imagine if you started duplicating that down into your organization. Imagine if 3, 4, 5, 6 people were all grabbing 3 contacts a day. It would change your business. It would like skyrocket with all of the people coming in. So 3 contacts a day. And then also, and just saying to those contacts a day, to tell them, if I were to send you some information, would you take a look at it? And then sending them a tool and having them take a look at it, and then following up. And you guys, I can't tell you, the other thing is the 3 follow-ups a day. I can't tell you how important that is. Kelly Dickerhoof, who I met on a plane, who's brought 80,000 people into my organization, didn't know her, cute little spinning instructor, sat next to her on a plane. She told me that had I not followed up with her after our encounter on the plane, she would have ordered it off of Amazon. So that's how important follow-up is. And I mean, you guys, did I really want to call her? No. She was a little bit intimidating, a little bit, I mean, she's a quiet girl. She's beautiful. She was, I didn't know her very well. I mean, we talked for 2 hours on the plane. I mean, but I remember thinking, you know what, she is tired and I can rock this girl's world. I can literally change her life if I follow up with her and get her on this cleanse. The girl needs to detox. It's going to change her life as a mother and as a wife. So really, I mean, when you have that heart of caring, a heart of service for people and really want to make their life better, you're gonna push through those fears and push through getting a little bit uncomfortable. So the 3 people a day, the 3 follow-ups a day, and then throw 3 new people onto your social media accounts every single day. I mean, if you guys were to throw 3 new people onto your accounts every day, your social media, you'd really be exposing some new people to your life, to your brand, to what you're excited about, and they're going to see what you're doing, and eventually they're going to ask about it. So 3 new people into social media. And then also practice enrolling people and then showing them how to grab 2 friends right away. And then a friend of mine used to like literally do this in the mirror so that she could watch your body language. And the key to doing is that you've got to do it every single day. And all of these things take a little bit of time to do, but the actions pay off big time in the long run. So really bringing and making it your kind of your mantra and what you're all about, that you bring people in threes. I mean, showing people, you know, when you come in with 2 accountability partners, you have a 67% greater chance of success when you've got accountability partners. So I tell everybody, you know, grab 2 people, you know, everybody comes in with 3s because you're going to get a lot better result. Who do you know? And I immediately kind of help jog their memory, you know, a mother, a sister, a cousin, a husband. You know, who do you know who wants to look better, feel better, do this with you and really get excited about it? Because we all know that if you guys are going to do something together, it's going to be a whole lot more fun. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about after those, so those are your 5 things: posting on social media, to use the Isagenix product in public, talk to at least 3 people a day, 3 follow-ups a day, adding 3 people, new people to your social media every single day, and then practice enrolling people and showing people how to grab friends, you know, a couple of people right away. So those are your 5 daily habits that you want to implement to build your business. And when you guys are meeting people too, you're going to want to, I mean, this whole business is all about the art of connection and really caring about people. And I remember when I was talking to Kelly on the plane that, you know, it was all about her. And I think she got off and had such a great experience with me because the entire time it was all about her. It was very little about me. It was all about her. It was about her family. It was about, you know, her husband's occupation. It was about her occupation. It was about recreation. What did she want to do? You know, or what were the fun things that she was doing in her life? And then also about her motivation. What really kind of drove her? So really use that form for, you know, communicating and connecting with people. That's family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. So when you really kind of think through that as you're talking to people in that art of connection, I mean, so many people are going to be engaged and they're going to like it because everybody likes to talk about themselves. We all know that. So, and also you guys, you know, what sets you apart in this business is really just one word, and that is consistency. So committing to doing the actions and just what it takes every single day, even when you don't feel like it. You know, anybody can make a little bit of money in this business, but show me what you've done with this over time, and it's going to be a game changer. You know, people are watching you. They're watching to see if you're consistent, or if you're just kind of going whichever way the wind is blowing you. So just, I mean, consistency is key. And if that's one thing that I can tell you, that the top earners in this company, they're consistent every single day. They're doing those 5 things that I just gave you guys, and they're working their business, and that's what it means. I mean, we all know that, you know, enrolling in this business it's the lifeblood of this business. So really recruiting, enrolling, bringing people into your organization is really what it's all about. Lauren, what else, anything else that you want me to talk about?
Yeah, Jess and I are actually texting back and forth a little bit too.
Okay.
But one of the things I know Jess really wanted you to talk about, and this is great. Those are such, great things. If you guys are not looking at the chat, I mean, definitely like take notes off of there, copy and paste it into your notes, because Jess and I are kind of typing in some of the brilliant sound bites that Jani's giving us. But talk about some of the things that you've seen about just being out of balance and how it's going to get messy and what that looks like. Because I think so often, it's that short-term temptation that keeps people from really kind of getting into long-term goals. And you use Jessica and I for examples. Like, I know you always tease me about football or how Jessica wanted to read, but kind of what you told us during our sprint.
Yes, absolutely. So, you guys, with this 8-week sprint, I mean, there's going to be, you're going to be a little bit out of balance. If you really are going to dig in and you really want to see huge advances in your business, it's going to get a little bit messy. And it's going to be the hot mess express. And if I would tell you one thing, it would be, talk to your family, talk to your husband, talk to your kids, and just tell them what you're going to be doing. That you're really going to be, for the next 8 weeks, you're going to really get into action and going to be working this business really hard. And just a couple of the tips that I would give you for being successful on this would be that you guys, and if I could just go through, it would be just like number one, like meal prep. Like if you guys can really get ahead of the whole meal thing, because that's one of the things that happened to me when I was really in a run, is I quit cooking. And I'm telling you, it was not pretty around my house, because people were used to having really beautiful meals all the time. And I really, when I was really running fast and hard, or in a contest or in a sprint like this, that kind of went by the wayside. If I had to do it over again, I would have talked to my family. I would have said, okay, Craig, can you pick up a couple of the meals on like maybe Tuesday and Thursday, or Tuesday or whatever. And then can we, if you can just if I could have meal prepped and just done things a little bit on Sundays and just kind of prepared for the week, it would have been a whole lot better. And then make sure, you guys, that your schedule is completely filled the night before your day starts. So that was one of the top, I mean, someone had said that that's like a $10,000 tip. If people will, if they will like write out your top 3 goals, write out your to-do list, write out who you're going to contact, exactly what you're going to do. I mean, I had marching orders that I did right before I went to bed, and then your subconscious works on that as you are sleeping. So, really make sure that's a $10,000 tip, to make sure that your schedule is filled the night before. Have a kitchen timer, and don't let your calls last more than 30 minutes. I mean, to me, that is huge. So don't let your calls last more than 30 minutes. Plan out your social media posts for each week on Sunday, which I think is huge. Do a 2-day cleanse so that your energy is up. Really, really work hard on your 2-day cleanse so that your energy is up. And then also make sure that you're working out every single day. I mean, to me, the exercise, that endorphin kick, taking that quick break to work out is huge. And then getting out of the house daily. To me, that just getting out of the house, making sure that you're out connecting with people, seeing fresh faces, being excited about what you're doing is huge. And then also negotiate with your family and have a reward for them at the end of this 8 weeks, so that they know, what you're doing. So, and so that they know that there's some sacrifice and definitely a payoff at the very end. Lauren, what else?
I think you're doing it. Let's turn it over to Jess if you want, and then we can do a little bit of Q&A at the end.
Perfect. Sounds good.
You guys are just amazing. And there honestly I don't think there are 2 people that I have enjoyed doing this business more with. And what an honor to have Jani. And Jani is so humble about what really the businesses that she's had an instrumental hand in. And some of you are new. Some of the people that I selected in my 10 are brand new. So you may not realize 96 millionaire. We're up to 220. We're up to 220. This is the 96 millionaire. But when you look at the trail of millionaires that followed, so many of them were at Jani's mentoring, at her hands, these people. And you'll hear people time and again say, if I can point to one person in this company responsible for the growth of my business, for the transformation of my family's financial blueprint, it's Jani. So I love what she says. Oh my gosh, guys, banking adaptogens and the fact that I'm resetting my adrenals. I mean, didn't it just roll off her tongue in such a beautiful way? And guess what? This can be the things that roll off your tongue too. So that's what I'll tell you. Then you've got Lauren Sims. And so Lauren introduced herself and didn't even come close to touching on really what makes her so special. But I want to just honor her in this way. So you've got a woman who's a clinical nutritionist, a group instructor, one of the hardest working people that I've ever known. Will do whatever it takes. And she's brought her team along and she's invested in them so much. And I see Laura Laurie and Jen Feichter and Wei Lin and Alex and all these people that I know she cares so deeply about. And that's probably one of the most beautiful things, is that she truly cares more about other people's success, and she will adopt you in. If you're part of Jani's organization or mine, Lauren will bring you in and have that same kind of passion for you. She will let you borrow her belief. So when Kathy Coover takes 8 of the top businesses, you talk about the thousands of people. There's 550,000 active associates in Isogenics. So think about that, 550,000. They take the top 8 business centers on the most lavish trip that has ever been known. Lauren is one of the 8 President's Quest earners. To say anything else about her, I can just drop the mic right there, because if you're in the top 8 out of 550,000, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. And so what I want to tell you guys is, during this next 8 weeks, are we going to tell you anything that's absolutely going to ground shift and going to be the most secret that no one else in Isogenics knows? Probably not. I mean, you're going to get some brilliant sound bites and tips and ways to connect and maybe some ideas. But you're some of the top people that we see so much potential in. And so a lot of this is you already know it. But here's what I've seen. I mean, when we know it, and I'm putting myself first in this, when we know it, when we know that we know it, we stop doing it, right? We stop doing the basics. And when we stop doing the basics, our team doesn't do the basics, and we can't teach the basics because we lost sight of it. And we overcomplicate it. I was talking to my girlfriend, Erin Parker, who's on this call earlier, and we were talking about you can make this business so darn complicated, but you can boil it down to its simplest terms. And when I've made it simple, people have duplicated me. That's the key. That's when we grow. When I've made it simple, people flood into my business with ease. And so I want to do an exercise with you guys right now, because I think a lot of you might look at Jani and go, 96 millionaire maker, Lauren, one of the 8 businesses in this company. And you might be, that's inspiring to me, but I want you to take this and I want you to literally plan it inside. And so I read about PK doing this exercise with people. And if you'll indulge me, I'd love to do it with all of you, because you are the elite of the elite. So I want you to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to imagine being at a major Isogenics event. And I want you to hear Kathy Coover with her, I want you to see her. Her muscles are busted, and she's got the biceps going and the cute fancy dress, fabulous shoes. She's on stage, bright lights. And she says, I'd like to announce the next Isogenics millionaire. And after that, she says your name. The next Isogenics millionaire, and she says your name. And if you're already a millionaire in Isogenics, the woman of the year, the 2019 Isogenics woman of the year, massive growth. And I want you to just feel and experience that. And I want you to feel yourself get up from the audience and be escorted up onto stage. And you're giving Kathy a hug, and you're giving Jim a hug, and Eric's there, and you just give you the biggest embrace, and they're smiling and congratulating you, and there's flowers, because you are the next Isogenics millionaire. And literally the venue is going bananas because you did it. You earned a cumulative $1 million in Isogenics, and you figured out how to create a residual income that would blow most people's minds in the traditional JOB world. And I want you to feel that, guys. Feel that and experience it. And so I want you to just see it. Feel the applause. Feel everything about that. So that was 17 seconds, guys. That is a powerful amount of time. According to one of my favorite books, if you've ever heard me train, you've probably heard me talk about this book called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. Thank you. Lauren was typing it before I even said it. And it's such a powerful book about feeling the emotion. It's the law of attraction, incorporating the emotion. And I don't know about you guys, but that makes me feel good. Can you imagine it? Can you see yourself? And maybe you don't want to be. I mean, listen, with honoring that there are people who aren't in this to be millionaires. You are just in it to make a massive impact. And that's where your vision should go. But because quantitatively we can really embrace the millionaires, it's easy to quantify. That means you've made a massive impact. And so that's what I'll just tell you is, if you're on this call, you're someone that we believe, if you're one of my 10, I can imagine your name being called and them saying, congratulations. I can imagine standing at the stage hollering till I'm literally can't speak anymore. I can imagine it so much, but it starts with the basics. It starts with the basics because I want you to know them so inherently that you can teach them to other people. And when you teach them that it flows from you so naturally, it's like Jani talking to someone in the nail salon about adaptogens and how she's going to maybe toss off 3 or 4 pounds in the next few days. And did you hear how natural, how elegant, how didn't it magnetize you? I want you to know the basics in a way that it just magnetizes people to you. And so you start with the basics. And the basics is this. I will say, if we're honest, can I get real hands for real? If you currently right now have an up-to-date list. If you have an up-to-date list. Okay, I'm not raising my hand. My list is not up to date. So that's accountability. So in this, guess what? Honestly, I still enroll people, but guess what? It means I could enroll more people if I had a list, if I was really, truly being deliberate and serious about this business. Each of you are the CEO of a business. I was talking to Chelsea a little bit ago, and I was saying, Chelsea, you know what the most beautiful thing about this business is? You're the CEO of a business with an unlimited, uncapped potential. And we have a few levers that we can pull to change what the income is, but there's no cap. And so the first thing I want to do, we can't even progress until we all commit to having a list. And if you know me, you know that one of the things that I will always tell people is print your Facebook friends list, and you need to go through and you need to literally write to every person on there, with the only disqualifier being they're already using Isagenix. Let that be the only disqualifier. Do you want to amp up your business? Do you want to uncover some people that have been looking for you? Write them. Again, some things that I might write, I might say, hey, I don't know if you see my Facebook posts, but this program has blown my mind and I want the world to know about it. I had to reach out to you. I'd love to chat with you. We should chat. The shorter, the better. No links, no pictures, no explanation from the encyclopedia on what adaptogens are. None of that. This is, I thought of you because it's amazing. I can't keep my mouth shut. The world needs to know about this system. We should chat. You could copy and paste that message. You could make it a personalized message that I think that's even more powerful. As I would say, Janelle, I know how many times you and I have talked about how exhausting it is to work in the health as a healthcare professional and with a super busy social life. I'm telling you, these products would light you up. Guess what? You want to do it really smart? Send it through voice memo through Facebook Messenger. Katie, you're already in the most ridiculous shape, but I know you're the mom of 3 unbelievably gorgeous, busy kids. I'm telling you, the energy and the sleep from these products, and I couldn't not tell you about it. I couldn't not tell you about it because every mom needs to hear about it. That voice memo, you pick up a voice memo like that, I love the concept of people don't buy in until they hear how bought in you are. When I hear someone's voice, I'm bought in. So the list that we're making is for real, legit. I'm going to reach out because Jani's telling me I got to talk to 3 people every day and I got to follow up with 3 people. So the list is going to help me plan out what I'm going to do. And I want us to really be accountable. I'm literally going to sit here after this call and I'm going to make my list because I owe it to my family to take my business seriously. I'm the CEO of a business with unlimited potential. Jani plucked Kelly Dickerhoff off a plane at 28 years old, and she created a 7-figure income. And look at the number of people on her team that are 7-figure earners. I owe it to myself to live into the potential of this business, and you do too. You do too. Because some of us are just sitting out there and we get comfortable. I'm comfortable. But guess what? I owe it to what we could do with the money we could earn. I owe it to the impact. I have 2 foster children right now. If I made $1 million a year, do you know what kind of impact I could have on the system that so desperately needs funds? Amazing. So that's the first thing. We're going to make our list and hold each other accountable that it's legit. And we're going to add to it. Throughout the course of the 8 weeks, be honorable to each other and to yourself to keep adding to this list. Use the memory jogger. We also, I think people look at the memory jogger and think we're too good for the memory jogger, and we start using just here's my notebook. The memory jogger works, right? I like Eric Worre's memory jogger, but Isagenix memory jogger is great too. Use the memory jogger because guess what? It will jog your memory. Writing down from a piece of paper, or even your Facebook list, you might miss some people that you are not connected with. So make your list. Here's the second part of the challenge. And I didn't tell Lauren and Jani I'm going to do this because I want to make this so freaking fun. If I can't laugh at myself, if we can't laugh at each other and have so much fun, then it's not going to be interesting. You're going to drop off. So let's make it fun. So here's the next thing I want you to do. And you're going to laugh because a lot of people are like, it's a 30-second story. Your 30-second story for product and for business. And we're all like, 30-second story. Well, if you don't know yours cold, if it takes you 2 takes, you didn't know it cold. If you can't videotape it right now, if I called on you and said, hey, unmute, Jen Neely, unmute, what's your 30-second story? You don't know it well enough. And I don't mean to call you out, Jen. I know you probably know yours because I know you're a rock star. But if you don't know it cold, then you don't know it well enough to teach somebody else how to do it. You're not showing up. Your team will do half of what you do. So if I don't know my 30-second story, which here's another confession. If you told me to do mine right now, I'd probably need 2 takes. But I want you to do it, record it, and then post it in the group. And we're going to do a little drawing, and I'm going to send somebody one of my favorite things. And if you ever watch my Facebook Live videos, I've got a lot of favorite things. I'm going to send somebody one of my favorites. I just bought an extra, so it's coming at you. So I'm going to pick one. I don't care whose team you're on. I'm going to pull out of a raffle from people that do it, and I'm going to send you something really fun. All right, so 30-second story. And so if you're brand new, like I'm looking at my girlfriend Kim Malmstrom on this call. Kim is brand new. Don't catch you. I don't want her to catch you sleeping though, because brand new means she's already enrolled a ton of people, and she was in Pampered Chef for 9 years. So I'm just going to call that out. This girl knows what she's doing. But Kim, you may not know the 30-second story template. You'll find it on isagenixbusiness.com. And if you've been in Isagenix for 10 years, you should still grab the template, make sure it's solid. Because guess what? Again, even if I could tell you my 30-second story right now, just rogue, just off the cuff, it's not duplicatable unless it follows the template. Does that make sense? I'm not great at teaching people to do what I do when I do it off the cuff. I talk to Lauren and Jani about this all the time. I want people to come and follow me around of how I connect with so many people, because it's just what I do. Because I read a lot of personal development books. I was an only child. I spoke to adults all my whole life. I wasn't around a lot of kids. So those are why I'm able to talk to people in a different way. But I can't teach that to people. But I can teach the templates, right? I can duplicate the templates. And I know people that have enrolled a ton of people, right? They've enrolled like nobody's business, but they've never been able to create leadership. And when you can't create leadership, you'll never earn the kind of income that you want. The whole business is based on duplication and accelerating your growth. So Alex Sabat, thank you so much for posting. There's this 30-second story template. Grab it, put it in your notes, copy it, and let's fill it out. And then do a video, both of the 30-second story of product and of business. And this is just part of our homework because we want to be able to teach this to other people. And unless we're going baseline. So you guys have all agreed to play full out, and we've agreed to go baseline because we're going to build a solid foundation so we can build up. We can build up. Jani can't teach you guys how to leverage the pools and max out the platinum pools until we build the most solid foundation. That means we're going to duplicate leadership. So the two things that we're focused on this week are a list and also on our 30-second story. And it's going to be so part of who you are that you're going to be sitting in a nail salon and all of a sudden your 30-second story is going to come out so beautifully and elegant. People are going to be taking notes on calls of exactly what you said. And so that's the whole thing, is when we build this foundation. And I'll just leave you with this. And my kids were doing something called Kumon Learning Center. It's a chain. I don't know if anybody knows it, but Kumon Learning Center's whole thing is that, my daughter's in 5th grade. And the first day she's there, she's literally doing single-digit addition. And the whole point of Kumon is that it makes it so it's in your head like that. Like you can spit it out cold. It's part of your DNA. And their point is that so many schools are just learning for tests. It's not part of the DNA. You probably, you can ask, if you ask me 9 times 5, you ask somebody, it's part of our DNA. That's the way we all grew up. In schools today, it's different, right? But what we're doing is Kumon Learning Center for Isogenics. We're making it part of your DNA. And so I'm so fired up about watching the 30-second stories. I'm so fired up about seeing the list and us all committing. So guys, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for showing up and agreeing and saying yes to taking your business to the next level.
You guys are awesome. We are so fired up. Thank you, Jess. So I think instead of you guys having kind of send us everything, we do want to post the videos, but Jess is going to kind of make a post and just say, hey, is your list up to date? Like this when we're done. And by the end of the week, there should be 30 likes type of thing. And then, we're also going to do one of what's the date of your May party, and what I'd love for you to do is in the comments, either put the link to your Facebook event party, or post the flyer, or if you're someone who's doing a little flyer or text messaging that or doing something in the public. But again, there should be 30 comments in that one thread where we either see the link to your event for May, or we see, the Facebook flyer. And that's kind of, just how we want to really hold each other accountable. And again, the idea is not to micromanage you, but we just want to hold each other accountable. We want to know what you're really doing and the best ways to support you. And we know that by that constant activity, like Jani said, you're 3 by 3 by 3, 3 social media posts a day, 3 calls a day, 3 follow-ups a day, 3 acts of service. We know what that will do. If you look at anybody in this business, you guys, that's a top earner. They're posting on Facebook every single day. They're doing launch parties every single day. They're following up with people every single day. They're connecting with people every single day. And it's true, sometimes without that list, it's hard to duplicate yourself because no one sees me getting a Lyft driver or getting a Lyft on my way to yoga instead of driving, because I want to talk to somebody. I want to know why they're driving that car part-time. People don't know I take an Uber home from yoga, right? Because I'm I got to find new people. So I know what these people are doing. They want extra money. So I'm going to pay $10, $5 there and $5 back to get myself to yoga. But I think that that's a $10 write-off in my business to connect with 2 more people. One of them might be the Isogenics Millionaire that gets announced. And they say, tell me your story. And they say, I picked this girl up on my way to yoga. That's the stuff that I visualize. That's the stuff I manifest and get really excited about. So you guys, we have an amazing curriculum. We've got an amazing agenda for the next 7 weeks. We definitely talked tonight was going to be back to basics and just those foundations. And what Jess said, people are going to do 100% of what you are not doing. They're going to do 10% of what you are. So if you're not having launch parties, they're not having launch parties. If you have 2, they might have 1. If you're an overachiever and you say, you know what, I'm going to do 8. I'm going to do 1 a week for the next 8 weeks. Guess what? Your team's going to show up and start doing 3 or 4 or 5. If you're saying I'm going to do the minimum 3 follow-ups a day, 3 calls a day, your team might call 3 in a week. That's just realistic. They're going to say, oh, I want double pibs. And then you'll follow up with them and say, hey, how are the double pibs going? And they're like, oh, well, this girl from work didn't call me back. You called 1 person. No wonder why you didn't enroll 2 people, But if we can show them, you call 5 people a day, 5 follow-ups a day, guess what? Your team is going to start talking to 1 or 2 people every single day. So over the next, 6, 7, 8 weeks, we're going to show you how to comb your tree. We're going to do some pool training. We're going to, show you kind of maxing, the volume of this, how to read your blueprints. There's going to be some higher level training, but the first thing first was the foundational. So we're going to close with this. And then in the next couple minutes, if you guys have any questions, we are going to do live Q&A if you want for the next 9 minutes. But I told Jess I would give you guys examples of what the 30-second story looked like. And this literally just happened in chat when she threw this out on the fly. So here's my disclaimer. I'm not going to do take 2s. but I want you guys to be a master. Remember that every master was once a disaster. But this happens to me all day long. Like literally, I remember Jani would text me and she would be like, I need you 2 minutes, please tell your story, right? And I'd be like, what? And I would call her and she'd be like, okay, Lauren. She's like, I'm at Nordstrom right now and I'm with this beautiful personal shopper and she's so cute and she's so adorable. Can you please just tell her your story, right? And I like had to on the fly be like, yeah, okay, hi. And I was like new, but I didn't realize, I mean, at the time I thought like Jani was trying to recruit this gorgeous Nordstrom shopper. But what I realize now is Jani was priming me. She didn't need that Nordstrom shopper necessarily. She was setting me up that on the fly, I could tell my story at any given time, you know, and I do that to Laura all the time, to Jen Feiter, to Keith, the people that I know that are incredibly talented. Like I'm literally will be at a coffee shop and I'll text Laura. I'm like, I need you for 30 seconds. Please just tell your story, right? That I can like pass the phone over, like let Laura tell their story and then we hang up. And that's why this comes into place. There's a time that you're going to talk for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, you know, but at a launch party, on a 3-way call, in an elevator, like when you've got to just be concise, that's what this is about. So I'm going to tell you my product story first, and then I'll tell you the business story, okay? Before I said Gen X, I was exhausted. I was snoozing 4 to 5 times every single morning to get out of bed. I was living on an IV of coffee, and I could have taken a nap at any given point of the day. I was introduced to Isogenics 3.5 years ago by my cousin Shayna, and as a result, I have more energy than I had as a teenager. I wake up before my alarm goes off. I no longer depend on coffee and Monster drinks. I sleep like a baby, and I truly believe everybody should feel this good. It lit up like a Christmas tree in the very first week, right? Like somewhere in the template, hopefully it was under 30 seconds. That's my product story. But if you guys see when you do the template, if you're talking about energy, stay with energy. If you're talking about weight loss, stay with weight loss. If you're talking about the business, stay with the business. Like you don't want to talk about your marathon and, you know, this performance result, but at the same point, how you're making money and how you're in smaller jeans. Like it's got to be really easy for people. So my business story, before I said Gen X, I was broken. I was overwhelmed, underpaid, and unfulfilled. I was exchanging time for money and could not figure out how to make ends meet. I was introduced to Isogenics 3.5 years ago by my beautiful guardian angel, Jani Ehlo. As a result, I no longer exchange time for money. I'm more fulfilled. I'm contributing more. I'm debt-free. I live a life of freedom. And I really, really want people to take a look at this opportunity. As a result, like I truly, truly believe that this will change lives. And I'm so excited that I could share that with you. Again, I'm not looking at the template. It's super off the cusp, but I want you guys to see how different the product story is than the business story. So take 10 takes, 12 takes, whatever you need, but then put your final version in our group. We cannot wait to see it. And I wish Rachel was on this call, but I will tell you this one story. You guys, Rachel worked her butt off the last 2 weeks, but the last 10 days, like I have not seen anybody work since I, you know, was going for a rank advancement. Jessica was going for a rank advancement. People, you know, that I know have just gone above and beyond to really, really kind of move mountains. And as the result of that hard work, she'd promised her husband kind of 24, 48 hours. She was disconnecting from her phone and they took a weekend getaway because she was the Hot Mex Express. I think she went a few days without a shower. Like this girl was in the grind. But I want to tell you guys exactly kind of what happened to kind of set the tone of this. When you are really going for it, when you get a hold of someone that's really going for it, nothing is getting in your way. And when I've done it, when Jessica's done it, when Jani's done it, you've seen people do it, you know it. And there's a difference between this is happening and rock solid clarity, no excuses, no humps, no whatever. This is what I'm doing. And like, maybe I want this to happen. I'm going to try. Okay, nobody's calling me back. It's not this week, right? And letting it just fall apart. So I remember when I was hitting 3-star, it's because I was doing an event and my ego was bigger than my house that I didn't want to be the 2-star on the flyer, right? All these people were like millionaires and 5-star and 6-star and they brought me in and I was like, I'm going to go for 3-star. And I was texting Eric Hoover. I was like, I'm going to be a 3-star on Sunday. You guys, I was cycling like 10 cycles a week, right? And I told Jani, and I remember like she told me be halfway to your goal, you know, by Thursday. And it was like Wednesday night or Thursday. I think it was like 9 cycles. And she's like, and like she didn't want to tell me it couldn't happen, but like logically, like you are not going to jump your business by this, you know? Like I told people, like this guy Hector Contreras was working with my region at the time. I was like, I'm going 3-star on Sunday. Like I knew it. I saw it. I believed it. I could see the Star 1000 email that was coming in. And it was an insane week, right? But it's something that's happened. When I've seen people that are going for Crystal Executive, you guys, people either fly out of the gates and do it, or they do it up to the deadline. You can see people do stuff in 4 or 5 days that they didn't do in 4 or 5 months. Why? right? Like I want to ask it, why? What happens? What turns on that light switch? What gets that burning desire going? Like what gets people into massive action in hours or days that they didn't do for weeks or months, right? So I started talking to Rachel, and, she was like this and that about different things. And I said, what's important to you right now? Like, what motivates you? You're living on the beach, like you don't have your full-time job anymore. You and your husband are tasting wine and drinking margaritas every day. Like, I know you love helping people, but like, what is something that motivates you right now? I don't care about 3 months from now. I don't care about 3 years from now, like short term. And what I was able to pull out of her is she really, really, really wanted Start 1000. And for those of you that don't know what that is, START is ages 18 to 35. And Eric, when he created this, was the first 1,000 people to become a 6-figure income earner, the first 1,000 people to hit 3-star, 40 cycles, right? Rachel's birthday is June 6th, and she's going to be 36 years old. So I'm like, we've got about a month. And, she was a solid 1-star, occasionally hitting 2-star. It was a big jump, right? But that was important to her. And we talked about why. And I said, okay. And I said, well, here's the 3 weeks that we can do it. And I said, we got Mother's Day, we've got Memorial Day, we've got Super Saturday. I said, every one of them has a conflict, it's going to be challenging. And I said, which one feels the best to you? Like right now, I said, what do you just feel? And she said, Mother's Day. And I said, done. I said, May 21st, we're going, or May 15th, 14th, whatever it was. Like, we're going for it. This is what we're doing, And I started talking to her. I said, number one, and this was the week before, I said, you've got to get back to executive, active executive. Don't manufacture it. Do what you have to do. And we talked about how the executive matches would help with the rank advancement, And then I said, hit Crystal Director on the way. I said, it's a great week to go. You've got your other team is going Crystal Director. Who is rank advancing? Who can you reactivate? Who can you enroll? Like whatever it was. And the third thing I said to her, just like Jessica started this call, when she said, imagine Kathy Coover, you're the next Isagenix millionaire. My exact words to her, you guys, and she would tell you this if she was on here. I said, imagine getting the call from Eric Coover when he congratulates you that you're a part of Start 1000. I said, I want you to see yourself next to me at Kisa at Celebration when all the fireworkers go on and we're up there with Eric Coover and everybody, and I said, I want you to see that. I want you to see what that's going to feel like. What is your post going to read when he celebrates you as a 6-figure income earner in the Start page? I said, we need to see this as it's already happened. And no matter what, we're doing it. Like, we're in. And Rachel slept 2 or 3 hours every single night, you guys. She was texting me at 4:30 in the morning here. That's 3:30 in the morning where she is. And she was up till midnight or 1 here. Like she, no matter what. And I talked to her on Wednesday, and she kind of was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But I was like, stop. I said, you're not doing anything wrong. I said, look at your back office right now. Your cycles are higher on a Wednesday than they have ever been. And I said, we will make it happen. I said, look at your list. Follow up with people. We just kept doing it and doing it. You guys, 9:58 on Saturday night, she hit Crystal Director. 9:52 on Sunday night, she ended with 41 cycles. Massive, massive growth. I mean, doubled her business, enrolled a ton of people, rank advanced a ton of people. But the point is, there was activity, there was burning desire, right? And there was vision. And everything that we just set you up for this call is what I saw happen. And I've seen Jessica do it. I mean, Jessica went 6-star to 8-star, you guys, in a matter of weeks because of those 3 things. It's what Jani did for me when I wanted to, go for President's Quest. It's what all of you have done when you've hit executive or director, or maybe you just got started and when you're like, what are they talking about? That's the big picture. So we are right at the top of the hour. We're going to close off week 1. Congratulations on being selected. Jess and Jani, I'm so excited to partner with you guys. The 30 of you, be prepared to be amazed. That's all I can tell you is come August, you are going to be shocked on what shifts in your business. So let's watch those videos, make your list, and we'll see you next Monday. We love you guys. Have a great night.